In the wake of Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's re-election, skilled migrants holding the Subclass 491 visa are navigating a shifting landscape shaped by both promise and pressure. While the government has introduced reforms aimed at improving processing times and expanding opportunities for regional workers, the reality on the ground remains complex. A recent news report highlights that Australia is still grappling with a massive backlog of over 2.9 million temporary visa holders, including nearly 380,000 on bridging visas. These figures underscore the scale of the challenge now facing the incoming immigration minister, and by extension, every visa applicant hoping for clarity and certainty in their migration journey. Central to Labor's vision is a renewed focus on regional Australia. By empowering regional employers and communities, the government aims to decentralize population growth and fill critical skill shortages in sectors like healthcare, aged care, renewable energy, and construction. For 491 visa holders, this means more targeted job opportunities in regional areas, with states and territories given greater flexibility to nominate candidates who align with local economic needs. Whether you're a nurse in a remote clinic or an engineer in a mining town, these changes are designed to ensure your skills are recognized where they're needed most. But while policy intentions may be strong, implementation continues to face hurdles. One of the most pressing issues is the ongoing visa backlog. Despite promises to reduce reliance on temporary visas, the number of people in Australia on such visas has continued to rise during Labor's first term. This includes not just skilled migrants, but also students, working holidaymakers, and asylum seekers. With backlogs at the Administrative Review Tribunal approaching 100,000 cases, many applicants, including those on the 491 pathway, are caught in limbo, waiting for decisions that can take months, even years. To address this, the government has taken some encouraging steps. It has invested in technology upgrades to automate routine administrative tasks, such as document verification and eligibility checks. These improvements have led to faster processing for straightforward 491 applications. Additionally, the Department of Home Affairs has expanded its team with new case officers trained specifically in regional migration, aiming to reduce delays and improve consistency across state nominations. However, that simply hiring more staff and upgrading systems won't be enough. If the government wants to maintain the permanent migration program at its current level of 185,000 places, it will need to make tough choices, particularly when it comes to balancing partner visas with the skilled stream. Without careful planning, there's a risk of legal challenges or significant budget costs, especially if the government is forced to cut skilled migration numbers to meet other obligations. This dilemma is particularly acute, given that major skill shortages persist across key industries. Health and aged care, residential construction, and education are all crying out for qualified professionals. Reducing the number of skilled visas could deepen these shortages, affecting both the economy and public services. Another area of concern is student visas. With rising numbers of international students staying beyond their course end dates, the government faces mounting pressure to tighten policies. But doing so carries political risks, especially if it deters high-quality students or disrupts the education sector, a major export industry for Australia. The issue of asylum seekers also looms large. While Labor has allocated additional funds to process asylum claims more quickly, the total number of asylum seekers in Australia has grown significantly since 2022. Over 93,000 individuals whose claims were rejected are still living in the community, often without access to work rights or support. Without a comprehensive strategy, Australia risks becoming like other Western nations with large populations of undocumented migrants living in the shadows. For 491 visa holders and others on regional pathways, this broader context matters. Immigration policy doesn't exist in isolation. Decisions made about student caps, asylum seeker processing, and visa fees affect the entire system, including how quickly skilled migration applications are assessed. And speaking of fees, visa application charges are already among the highest in the world. Yet the government may consider increasing them further to offset budget pressures, potentially making Australia less competitive in attracting top global talent. Amid all this, one thing is clear. The time has come for a long-term population plan. The government now holds a strong parliamentary majority, giving it the opportunity to develop a formal framework for managing net migration over the coming decades. While any such plan would likely face criticism, whether branded as Big Australia or too restrictive, it could help restore public confidence and provide much-needed direction for policymakers and migrants alike. So what does this mean for you, if you are on or considering the 491 visa? First, there's reason for cautious optimism. The government is clearly focused on regional development and has introduced tools to speed up processing and expand nomination options. But at the same time, systemic challenges remain. Processing times can still vary widely, depending on your location and circumstances. And as policy adjustments continue, especially around student visas, asylum seekers, and the balance between family and skilled migration, the path forward may shift unexpectedly. That's why it's more important than ever to stay informed and proactive. Understand your options, keep your documents updated, and engage with the resources available through your state or territory government. Regional migration isn't just about filling jobs, it's about building sustainable communities where skilled workers can settle, grow, and contribute for the long term.